Stevo again, and I thought I'd hope you're enjoying your weekend, and I thought I would talk to you again. Um, I have two scenes from a movie, one of my favorite movies, Medium Cool, that came out in 1969 about the African American civil rights movement, you know, and about the the Vietnam and is basically takes place in Chicago in the late '60s, and it's one of my favorite movies. And there's a couple scenes that I have on my Sacramento Outlaw Twitter feed. So go there and or see the whole movie. It's directed by Haskell Wexler, Chicagoan. He started out being a photographer and a director of photography for movies like In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier, and then he did Medium Cool back in 1969, and he was very politically active and very well-known Chicagoan. Uh, he died a couple years ago in his 90s, but he's someone that you should read up on, and his name is Haskell Wexler. Um, Essentially, it's just very disheartening that we this whole year 2000 is very disheartening, and it's again, I don't have any notes or anything like that. I don't have any. I just kind of just go online and just talk and everything, and that's why I repeat myself, because I don't have any notes, and I get nervous and I say the same thing again and again. So my bad if I say the same thing again and again. I'm not trying to nag you or anything like that. Um, it's been the good thing is that 20 million people, over 20 million people, have already voted in America, and that's a good thing. And I don't mean to nag again, but wouldn't it have been nice if people voted in 2016? I think people took voting for granted, and I think in a way I don't blame them, because all pretty much all politicians are the same. But the thing is that we have such a corrupt system in America that, yeah, all politicians are the same, because they're all corporate. All the Republicans and Democrats are corporate. And we slept like Rumpelstiltskin through the last 30, 40 years, and probably longer than that. And we let politicians do for us, and we let politicians put our money in their pockets. And I think it as long as we play Rumpelstiltskin, there's always going to be politicians that are going to take us for granted and take advantage of us. So it's important to be politically active. It's important to vote. There are times when you vote for legislation, especially in your local politics. There are times when you vote for legislation other than politicians. So be aware of that. So it is important to vote. And I think we took our voting for granted in 2016 when we didn't vote. And a lot of people stayed home, and it really frustrates me. I've been voting since 1992. And I voted for mainly the progressive ticket, but I did vote for Obama twice. The first person I voted for in '92 was Bill Clinton. I wasn't really politically active or politically knowledgeable at the time, But I voted. I voted. And it doesn't take that long to vote. But the main thing is to keep an eye on these politicians. The main thing is to be active in your community. You know? That's the main thing. You can't just, oh, you know, I'm not going to vote, I can't make a difference. Then, you know, look what happened in 2016. You not voting, or you voting for Trump because Trump was more liberal than Hillary Clinton, got Trump into office. In 2020, we're in the 2020 now, and we're in the worst. We're in a pandemic, a serious pandemic. We people are unemployed. People are being homeless because, you know, we're in this situation together. And this isn't anything new, because if the American people read books and read that, realized that history repeats itself, we've been through this before in America. We've been through this before. You know, Trump wants to play the isolationist from other countries. He wants to play a xenophobe in other countries, and with Muslim people and Mexican people in America. And I think the American people should not approve of that, because we're all immigrants except for the Native Americans and African Americans who were forced to come here. You know, they had African Americans, half of my people had no choice to come to America. So we are, this country is based on immigration. And to just only choose groups of people, you know, European people, to like, and oh, I come from Sweden, or I come from Germany, or I come from England. But, you know, people who are Muslim, or people who are Mexican, people who are from Somalia, they're not allowed to come to America. So when it comes to picking and choosing who comes to America, it doesn't work that way. The immigration laws are very flexible in America. And even Ronald Reagan in 1989 said that anybody has the right to come to America. And he's Ronald Reagan, if anybody knows anything about Ronald Reagan. So it's very disheartening about the xenophobia and the Trump turds who are so, they're cowards. The Trump turds, the 35% who are going to vote for Trump in November the 3rd, or probably already voted for Trump. They're cowards because they don't realize that we all come from different countries. I don't see too many Trump turds who are Native American. I don't see any Trump turds who are Native American. And they're the people that should complain the most. We committed total genocide on Native American people. They should be the ones that should be complaining the most. There are a lot of Native Americans that live in my neighborhood. Majority of them are Somalian. But they are Mexican and Native American and white people that live in my neighborhood. And that's why I like living in this neighborhood, because of the diversity. But they are Native American people that live in this neighborhood. And a lot of them are dealing with alcoholism. A lot of them are dealing with mental illness and poverty. But I have a lot of Native American friends who are middle class who live in the suburbs. So it's a stereotype to judge Native people as, it's silly. It's silly. And the way we treated the Native American is just disgusting. It's disgusting. In the same way we treated African Americans. And I think we need to love one another. I think we need to do the opposite of what Donald Trump is doing. And like I've said many times before, Trump is not really political. You couldn't compare him to Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan actually believed that communists were going to come to America, that the Russians were going to come to America. Trump is, he goes where the money goes. And he realizes that it's a lot of money in conservative politics. And he's making fools out of these Trump turds. But there's still good people out there who don't believe in Donald Trump. And it's amazing, and I really love it when 20 million people have already voted. 20 million people so far in October 17th, I believe, have already voted. They already voted. People are waiting in lines in Georgia and I think it's North Carolina, either of those Carolinas, and they're waiting for 11 hours to vote because they don't like Donald Trump. I hope so. I hope the majority of the people are voting for Biden, and they don't like the way this country is going. You are the people. We are the people. You have rights. Like I keep saying, stop sitting down on your ass and watching the game. You have rights in this country. How many times do I have to say that you have rights? You have rights. You have rights. You know, the American people have rights. Don't take your rights for granted. Don't say, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't make a difference. If you would just go online and go viral and talk to your friends and realize that your friends believe in the same thing you believe in, and that, oh, yeah, you can make a difference. You can make a difference. You can make a difference. I'm doing this and doing that. But anyways, you can make a difference. When you realize that your neighbors and your loved ones think the same way you think. You can make a difference in your community. You don't just vote, but you are very active in your community. You call your politicians and tell them what's going on. Can Donald Trump cheat in the election in November? What can we do about Donald Trump not cheating in this election? Because there is a good chance that Donald Trump will win. But he's going to win by cheating. And we Americans don't want that. We don't want another G.W. Bush. But you got to learn from history, from American history, and you got to be active in your community. And you got to love each other. You got to love people who are different from you, who come from different parts of the United States. And that's what you need to do. You need to vote and you need to be politically active. Because if you don't do it, 200 years from now, our republic will be no more. It will be no more. And the people just sit there with their finger in their ass, watching the game and expecting politicians to do for us. And they're doing nothing for us. They only care about money. So vote and love one another. And I'll see you when I see you.